What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another baseball video. Today is going to be a whole lot of fun because we are going to be discussing the best overall prospects going into 2019, and something that I need you guys to do is, if I forget anyone, if you guys have a guy that is flying underneath the radar that is going to be an absolute stud going into next season, let me know in the comment section down below what his name is, and maybe we'll make a part 2. But before we get into that, I do have a couple favors to ask for you guys. If you enjoy baseball content, make sure that you guys slap a like on this video and subscribe, because we're getting so close to 60k subs. And then once we get there, you know, it's just going to be a great time. We are 60% of the way to 100,000 subscribers, and I could cry because I'm so happy. Also, guys, I have one more announcement. I became a dad today. I was walking back to my car from the gym, and look who I found. I don't know if you guys can see. Look at him. Isn't he so cute? I'm gonna call him Fuzzy Jr. So just for right now, he's gonna be the mascot of this channel, Fuzzy Jr. I'm gonna call him FJ for short. But without further ado, guys, let's get into the best prospects going into the 2019 Major League Baseball season. And I'm sure that you guys can agree that the number one guy, there's no argument.
Fuzzy, the number one prospect going into 2019 is obviously Big Chungus.
No, it's not Big Chungus. Who is Big Chungus? I've heard the name Big Chungus like 10 times in the last 2 days. I have no idea who that is. No, we're talking about Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Breaking ball, lift in the air to left center field. This is trouble. Racing back is Sam Travis at the wall. Home run! Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to have some big shoes to fill. The reason why is because his dad, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he was inducted into the Hall of Fame not too long ago. He is one of the best players in MLB The Show 18. He's an immortal card. So now Vladimir Guerrero and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., I think that they are two different types of players. When his dad was coming up, he was known for having an absolute cannon for an arm. He could also steal you 30, 40 bags in a season. I don't think Vlad Jr. has the legs to do that. I think he's going to be more of like a Miguel Cabrera type and just absolutely rake at the plate. Now again, guys, I am not going in order. I just wanted to start off the video with a bang by showing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. There's still a full list of players that we have to go through, so don't go anywhere. Watch until the end because there's a bunch of stuff to cover. In 2017, at just 18 years old, Vladimir Guerrero put up a .323 batting average with 13 home runs and 76 RBIs. Now granted, that was in single A, so we do have to take that into account. As he's getting older, is he going to do better or worse as he progresses through the ranks from Double A to Triple A, maybe even Major Leagues in 2019? 100% confirmed. He's going to be a Major League Baseball player in 2019. That's my opinion, but I'm going to confirm it. We're going to skip all the way to last season when he was actually called up to Triple A, because Double A, he was absolutely demolishing them. He had a .402 batting average in 61 games at Double A, so they said, you know what? This is kids play. You are not supposed to be here right now. We're going to call you up to Triple A where the big dogs play. In 30 games for the Buffalo, I'm not sure what their team name is, but it's in Illinois. In 30 games, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit 6 home runs, had 16 RBIs, a .336 batting average, and a .978 OPS. So all of those are otherworldly. We are going to be looking at one of the better offensive forces, and also he's got a pretty good glove as well. I don't want to poo-poo that, but Vladimir Guerrero Jr., I wanted to start off with a bang. I know I talked about him quite a bit, but he is our number one prospect going into 2019. Now, the next couple guys, I will not be ranking them. I'll just be talking about who you should be looking for if you're a fantasy guy. Maybe have some sleeper picks in there.
Peter Alonso cranks this one to left, and that is way gone. And he knew it. The breathing technique worked.
It sure did.
Coming up next, we have someone who was supposed to be called up just like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but the organization decided, let's not do it. We'll save him for 2019 because there's nothing to play for, which in my opinion, if there's nothing to play for, call up your best prospects. It's none of my business. Peter Alonso was drafted in the 2nd round by the New York Mets back in 2016, so he's only 24 years old, so the sky is the limit with this kid. So we're just going to briefly go over his 2018 stats in total. We're not going to dissect Double A, Triple A, anything like that, because in Triple A, he was producing at the same rate, but his batting average did dip. But for 2018 in total, he had 36 home runs, 119 RBIs, a .285 batting average, and a .975 OPS. So again, just like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Peter Alonso is going to rake in the big leagues, or at least that's my opinion. I think that he's going to be really good. Now, the one thing that you have to consider with Peter Alonso is the fact that he does not walk as much as he strikes out. Last year in 2018, he had 76 walks to 128 strikeouts. So if he progresses through the minor leagues and if he can cut down those strikeouts and maybe walk a little bit more, he's going to be that much more dangerous. Another up-and-coming prospect. He has been in the minors for about 4 years now. The reason why is because he wasn't drafted out of high school. He actually came over from the Dominican Republic. We're talking about Eloy Jimenez. In 2018, Eloy Jimenez played in 108 games. He had 22 home runs, 75 RBIs, a 337 batting average, and a 961 OPS. So just to give you guys an example, the Major League average OPS is 750. So everyone that we've talked about so far is projected to be an above-average hitter in Major League Baseball. So that's the reason why I'm updating you guys. Remember these names going into next year's fantasy, because if these guys get called up, you might want to pluck them and put them on your bench and see if they produce, because if they do, it's probably going to be at a very high level.
And it will probably never happen again. See, 3-1 pitch. Rodgers swings a high fly ball deep into left center field. Going back is the left fielder Collins, but this one is gone. A home run for Brendan Rodgers. It is his third home run of the year, and the Rockies have jumped in front. It's 1-0.
The number 3 overall pick back in 2015, Brendan Rodgers. I would say that the Rockies are probably going to sign Brian Dozier at second base. I don't think that they should, but I think that's the route that they're going to take. And if they do take that route, that means that Brendan Rodgers is probably going to spend one more season in the minors. But let me show you his stats, because this guy is going to be a force if he gets called up. Probably Trevor Story 2.0 if they ever get rid of Trevor Story, which I'm not sure why they would, but just in case. In 114 games in the minors last year in 2018, Brendan Rodgers had 17 home runs, 67 RBIs. He had 31 walks to 92 strikeouts and a 268 batting average. So right off the clip, we know that he is going to be an all or nothing type of shortstop. He has a pretty good glove and arm. So just think about it this way. He looks like he's going to be Trevor Story before Trevor Story really figured out how to cut down the strikeouts. Now, don't get me wrong. Story still does strike out a lot, but he hits a lot more home runs and hits for a little bit of a higher batting average, so his OPS raised as well. So if you can get a poor man's Trevor Story, I'm sure any team would take that, especially if you could plug him in at second base just to learn how to play in the MLB. You're going to take that. We have another junior on our hands. If you guys have never heard of Fernando Tatis, let me show you his highlights first, and then we'll follow it up by Fernando Tatis Jr. because this guy can rake as well.
Fastball, and it's a grand slam. Woo! Tatis swing and a long one. There it is, folks. Baseball history. A second grand slam home run for Fernando Tatis.
Chen-Ho Park, who now works for the Padres.
Fly ball struck pretty well to right field. Perkins going back at the wall, and that ball is gone.
In 88 games last year, at 19 years old, Fernando Tatis had 16 home runs, 43 RBIs, 16 stolen bases, and a 286 batting average. Again with these guys, he had 33 walks to 109 strikeouts. Maybe he can link up with Eloy Jimenez and figure out how Jimenez is able to track balls and strikes, because if he can cut those strikeouts down, man, this guy's going to be something special, just like his dad. Our next prospect is someone that I would definitely not want to get in the box against, Forrest Whitley. Now, just by his first name, Forrest, I just think that he's going to be an amazing player. That's just me being weird. I don't know. I like the name Forrest. Forrest Whitley was the 17th overall pick back in 2016. And of course, who was he drafted to? The Houston Astros. I feel like the Houston Astros have so many prospects and so many good players going forward that they're going to be a dynasty for a long time. They might just be the New England Patriots of Major League Baseball. I think that's the way it's looking. But he is 6'7", and I believe that there is a clip floating around where Forrest Whitley threw a 110-mile-an-hour pitch. If I can't find it, I can't find it. But if I did, I'm going to show it right now.
Oh, baby! Ready? 110.
So it's going to be really awkward if I could not find the clip. But let's quickly go over his 2018 stats. So in 2018, at 20 years old, again, these guys are prospects. They are not 35, okay? They're not Bryce Harper and 26 looking for a $300 million contract. They're still trying to prove themselves. So at 20 years old, at Corpus Christi, which is considered AA in Major League Baseball, he had a 3.76 ERA, but then following that, he had a 2.42 ERA. Now, he only started in about 14 games total, so I'm not sure if that's a big enough sample size. But the thing I want to show you guys is his strikeouts per 9. He had a 12.5 strikeout per 9 and 11.6 strikeout per 9. And if we go even earlier in his career, he once had a 16 strikeout per 9. So this guy is going to blow it past you. He almost has the same makeup of Michael Kopech, the top prospect for the Chicago White Sox. And Michael Kopech, in my opinion, looks like he's going to be the next Justin Verlander, which honestly is a pretty awesome comparison if you ask me. Now, the one thing about Whitley is going to be his command. Obviously, when you throw 110 miles an hour, if that actually happened, you're going to have issues with locating the fastball, just like Jordan Hicks and Aroldis Chapman when they first came up. We can see that the range of his walks per 9 goes from 2.4 all the way up to 4.1, which is not going to cut it. Right? I mean, it could cut it, but it's not going to be great going forward in your career.
The 2-2. And Kieboom gives this a ride, left center field and deep. Way back, and it is off the wall. Chris Madera gathers it in.
No, it's a grand slam as the Potomac Nationals bat around.
Carter Kieboom or Carter Kaiboom. I'm really sorry if I butchered that. If you guys are Nationals fans out there, you probably know better than I do. But he was drafted in the first round of the 2016 draft, 28th overall. So you know he's pretty good just based on talent. In 2018, it looks like he bounced around from single A to double A. So in 2018, between two teams, he put up 16 home runs, 69 RBIs, 58 walks to 109 strikeouts. So again, that's not the worst thing in the world, but he does have to cut the strikeouts down if he wants to succeed. He had a 280 batting average to go along with an 800 OPS, so that's above major league average. So if he can strike out just a little bit less, walk a little bit more, maybe steal you a few more bags, because he did have 9 stolen bases in 123 games, so he's not slow. But again, if he can get you a 285 batting average and play a decent shortstop or third base and steal you 15 bags and provide 20 home runs, unless you're the Indians because you have Jose Ramirez at third base, or if you have Nolan Arenado or Javier Baez, you would want this guy on your team.
Here's a swing and a fly ball back into deep center. Allen on the move, looking up at the warning track, and it's off the wall. Senzel on his way to second. Down third, coming to the plate. The relay won't come. It's an inside the park home run.
I'll be honest with you guys. I must have not paid attention to the 2016 draft because this man, Nick Senzel, was drafted in the first round, 2nd overall. And I honestly have never heard of him before. So I got to pay attention more to my drafts because this guy's new to me. There was a lot of talk from the Cincinnati Reds this offseason that they were going to trade Scooter Gennett. And one of the reasons why is because they feel like they can fill the void by calling up Nick Senzel. Again, he was drafted by the Reds to play second base or shortstop or even third base. He's kind of a utility guy. So if you see Scooter Gennett on the move, just know that Nick Senzel is probably going to come up. And the reason why is in 2018 in 44 games, so it looks like he was injured a little bit. He had 6 home runs, 25 RBIs, and a 310 batting average. So again, he's not going to hit you 50 home runs or anything like that. But if you can get a 300 batting average with an 887 OPS and a couple home runs a year and a pretty decent glove and arm, maybe even steal you a few bags. He did have 8 in 44 games. So he's quick. He's got a little pop in his bat. It looks like he's more of a contact hitter guy. And at second base, what more can you ask for? The final prospect that we are going to talk about, I'm going to throw you guys a little bit of a curveball because he is easily going to be the oldest player that we've talked about so far. Usually it's like a 19-year-old prospect, a 21-year-old, or maybe even a 23-year-old who was drafted first overall a couple years back. No. This one is going to be a foreign player out from Japan, Yusei Kikuchi.
見逃し三振155キロ見逃し三振膝元154キロ今日3つこういう判断だと思うんですよねここも2球で追い込む
We're going to actually span all the way back to 2012 because that's when he was 21 years old, because I really want to see what are his stats and how exactly has this man produced over in Japan. So at 21 years old, he had a 4-3 record with a 3.1 ERA. Now, he only started in 12 games, so that's not a huge sample size. The next year, 2013, he had a 9-4 record with a 1.92 ERA. So we can see that he's getting better and better. Now, let's take a look at 2014. He regressed. He was 5-11 with a 3.54 ERA. Not good. 2015, it looks like he did clean up his game just a little bit. He went 9-10 with a 2.84 ERA, so he lowered his earned run average almost by a full run. Followed up in 2016 with a 2.5 ERA. 2017, his best season in Japan, a 1.97 earned run average with a 16-6 record. The one thing I want to check as well is his strikeouts per 9. So that year, he had a 10.4 strikeouts per 9 and a 2.3 walks per 9, which is really good. And then last year in 2018, his ERA did jump from a 1.97 all the way up to a 3.08, which is more than a full run. And the thing that we have to look at most, his strikeouts per 9 dropped by 2 and went from 10.4 to 8.4. And his walks per 9 went up. So I want you guys to decide. So is he going to be the next Masahiro Tanaka or Daisuke Matsuzaka? I haven't seen much tape on him, so I can't really tell you guys. So it's going to be up for you. Let me know in the comment section down below. Is he going to be good or is he going to be a bust? If you guys have a dark horse rookie of the year that I just did not talk about, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to try and make a part 2 if you guys want to see it. Maybe if we can get this video like 500 likes, we'll make a part 2 if you guys are up for it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.